I remember one summer when I was a teenager that I worked as a camp counselor. I was one of 4 female counselors at the camp. The other 3 ladies had about the same amount of girls, 4 or 5 girls in a group, but I got the rambunctious crowd. I got the 8 troublemakers. I remember one night in particular the most. The girls had gone to sleep and I was finally in my bed. And what happened? The girls all quietly snuck out of bed and went off outside the cabin and left me there with the door of the cabin wide open. Like I said, here in the middle of the night, the girls sneak out and leave the cabin door wide open. It was the cold breeze of the night air that woke me up. I got up to close the door, and when I turned around, imagine my surprise to find that all my girls were gone. I was so furious. I immediately went out to search for them. Here I was outside in the middle of the night, tracking down 8 rambunctious girls. I had no clue where they could be, but finally I found them gathered around in a group with boys. They were having the time of their lives, flirting and being silly, until one of them noticed that they were caught. You can imagine the looks on their faces when they realized that their camp counselor was standing right there. Immediately they were sent back to the cabin. I was furious. Once my girls had walked back to the cabin, I turned my eyes to the boys. They sat there with very scared expressions on their faces, not exactly sure what I was going to do. Once I found out what cabin they were in, I went and immediately informed their camp counselor what they had been doing, and he ripped them a new one. With that completed, I went back to face my girls. I walked into the cabin and looked around. The girls looked like prisoners waiting for their sentencing. I think they knew that they were in trouble. I proceeded to yell and rant and rave at them, explaining to them why it was so wrong and asking them why they would even do that. The only excuse I could get was that it was fun. So I explained that they were young and they needed their sleep, otherwise the next day they would be exhausted and not have any fun. So I told them it was lights out time and it's time to get some sleep. I waited until they were all snug in their beds before settling down myself. I have to say that I will never again work as a summer camp counselor. They just really expected way too much from me. The other counselors had it easy, and 4 or 5 girls is nothing compared to the 8 troublemakers that I had. I wish that they could have walked a mile in my shoes because they would know how I feel. Never again. I won't work that job.